Welcome to the AVG Investment Process video for investors. AVG has launched the Nordic ESG and Impact Fund SCSp, the fund, in order to take Nordic growth equity companies and climate infrastructure projects to a global market. AVG is committed to investing in the energy transition through carbon reducing technology and projects that will help improve nature and the environment. The following video is to demonstrate an investor can invest and understand the processes behind how AVG makes decisions and how the investor obtains transparency. How to invest. Investors do the following. 1. Doing due diligence. An investor curious about investing can go to the due diligence webpage located with intralinks. The investors can fill out the appropriate NDA and then obtain files on the company background, team, and general investment strategy. There, the investor will also find the limited partnership agreement, the offering memorandum, and the subscription document. 2. Fill out documents. An investor that is interested can then fill out the subscription document and supply the fund administrator with their KYC, Know Your Client, and AML, Anti-Money Laundering, documents. 3. Once this has been completed, the investor will wire money to the bank account set up for the fund, but controlled and overseen by the fund administrator. 4. The fund administrator will provide the investor with an acceptance letter and will report to the investors every quarter for the life of the fund. The fund administrator will provide these statements on using their online electronic platform called eCafe. The investors can check on their investment at any point and see what is being invested in the portfolio in real time. Investing the money. 1. AVG invests the money by having a strict process of review on each of their investments. First, AVG obtains deal flow from a variety of institutions: the government, scientific organizations, universities, investment banks, and venture funds in the market. The fund also determines whether or not the government will also support financially the company or project in question. Second, AVG conducts interviews with the companies and determines whether or not the company or project fits the mandate of the fund. Third, if the company or project meets the mandate of the fund, then the fund will go issue a term sheet to the company, subject to a due diligence check. Fourth, if the company or project accepts the terms, the fund will spend a couple of months doing financial, technical, and operational due diligence. Fifth, if the company or project passes the due diligence, then a formal investment offer will be made with an investment management agreement and shareholder agreement. Sixth, a representative of AVG will sit on the board of the company or project and make sure that the business plan is being followed strictly. Monthly reporting to management and money controls are put in place to make sure that the money is spent according to plan. Ongoing reporting. 1. AVG will supply the fund administrator the quarterly updates to the performance of the fund, and this will be confirmed by the fund administrator. 2. Investors will have online access to their statements at all time and can monitor the portfolio of the fund. 3. The fund will then be audited by KPMG at the end of the year. These reports will be released typically within a quarter after year end. 4. Newsletters, press releases, and new videos on the underlying portfolio companies will be shared with the investors, so they get the most up-to-the-minute information about what's going on with the portfolio. ESG reporting. AVG is proud to be a UN Principles for Responsible Investing (PRI) member, and as such is obligated to report to investors the ESG and impact actions taking place for the benefit of investors. In addition, as a Luxembourg AIFM fund, AVG is committed to reporting under the Sustainable Financial Disclosure Regulation (SFDR) under Articles 8 and 9. In order to satisfy these requirements, AVG has designed a process to disclose company and project ESG metrics. AVG reports them in the following way. 1. AVG requires all companies and projects to report on their ESG goals and state metrics that they are using. 2. AVG then takes these reports and uses an independent verification company called RIO to satisfy collecting the ESG metrics. These reports will be supplied quarterly to investors, so they can also track the improvements that the companies and projects are making. 3. At the end of the year, the fund auditor, KPMG, will verify these reports through KPMG Sustainability. These reports will be part of the audit delivered at the end of the year. Liquidity and Exit. 1. The fund prioritizes exits in this fund and liquidity back to investors. 2. Investments into projects typically produce cash flow through the underlying client paying for the electricity that the project produces. These cash payments will be paid back to investors annually. 3. In the event that the fund sells a company or project that they have invested into, those proceeds will be distributed back to investors at the end of the year as well. 4. The fund has been structured as a European waterfall, which means that investors will get their principal, original amount of money invested, plus the hurdle rate of 8%, the rate that the fund has to achieve before taking the performance fee. Thank you to all of those that currently have invested and those considering it. AVG is contributing to the energy transition by investing in the best Nordic ESG and impact companies it can find.